Good afternoon, everyone. It is the 24th of June. It's a Saturday afternoon. And of course, as usual, seems like it's a broken record lately. We have more severe weather to talk about, starting up in Iowa today and then sliding south and southeast into parts of the Mid-South tomorrow. So let's get into that. But hit that thumbs up button, comment where you're from. And if you have not subscribed, it is free. Hit subscribe, hit the all on notifications, and you'll be notified every time we go live or post content on YouTube for you. All right, let's get into the severe weather. All right, like I said, we're starting up in Iowa today. They just issued this tornado watch here just a few minutes ago. So this goes until 7 o'clock Central Time Saturday, which is today. A couple tornadoes is possible, scattered hail up to tennis ball size, and wind gusts of up to 70 miles per hour. We're talking Iowa City over towards Des Moines, up towards Mason City, down to Ottumwa. So, like I said, this goes until 7 o'clock, and there's going to be more severe weather rolling south and east as we go in through this evening and overnight. Here is the main risk area for today. Like I said, most of Iowa bleeding into west central Illinois, northeastern parts of Missouri. You're talking about Hannibal, Kirksville, up to Burlington, Iowa, over towards Springfield, Illinois, Peoria, up to Davenport, Iowa City, up towards Mason City, Spencer, down towards Ottumwa as well, Des Moines. Slight risk for today. Like I said, scattered severe thunderstorms is likely across portions of Minnesota, even, and through Iowa and into the mid Mississippi Valley through this evening. Brief tornadoes is possible, along with large hail, like I said, up to tennis ball size, and damaging winds of 70 plus miles per hour across this area. Now, there is a marginal risk out for even most of the rest of Missouri, down through northern half of Arkansas, through parts of Oklahoma as well. So we're going to see storms develop later tonight, leading into tomorrow. So let's take a look at that risk. Now, this is for Sunday. Down here towards this, basically the lower right of your screen here, we got an enhanced risk all the way from Nashville up to Jackson, Kentucky, Louisville, up to Cincinnati, and just southwest of Columbus, Ohio. This is an enhanced risk for tomorrow. And the outside of this, slight risk all the way back in through Arkansas, Little Rock towards Memphis, Birmingham, Alabama, through the northern half of Mississippi as well, and then most of the rest of Tennessee and Kentucky, Knoxville up to Paducah, Indianapolis, and just on the southwest side of Cleveland here, big slight risk area. So let's take a look at the risks, or the threat levels here. So the tornado risk is a little bit more elevated here in the enhanced risk area, from, like I said, Louisville through central Kentucky here. Basically a 5% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of any given point, a radius of any given point across this area. And in the green, a 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25-mile radius of any given point across the green. So the tornado risk is a little bit lower, but it's not zero. So we need to pay attention to that for tomorrow, which is Sunday. All right, so this is the probability of severe wind of 60, 70 miles per hour. The biggest chance here is up here towards Nashville through central Kentucky, all the way up to Cincinnati, and just really get close to Columbus here. You got a 30 to 40% chance of seeing some damaging winds across this area. On the other side of this, the yellow is a 15 to 29% chance of seeing severe wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour within 25 miles of any given point through this area. One of the bigger risks for tomorrow, Sunday, is going to be the damaging hail. Basically, we have a hatch severe, basically from Little Rock down towards Hot Springs through most of central and western parts of Arkansas. And then we have another area up here towards just northwest of Nashville through Louisville up towards Indianapolis. Another area here that could see severe hail in excess of 2 inches in diameter. So we're probably talking hen eggs, golf ball size to hen eggs, or larger, maybe up to baseball size in certain areas. We've had a lot of hail lately across this area, and it looks like more severe hail is possible as we go into Sunday. There's rainfall for the next 7 days. General 1 to 2 up here in the northern plains, and then off to the south or the northeast. 2 to 4 inches of rain is possible up here in the northeast. Maybe a half an inch to inch and a half to 2 inches possible across the southeast, and half an inch to an inch across Missouri and through Arkansas. It just depends on how heavy these storms get over the next few days. All right, here is the current hazard map. We have a big high pressure basically sitting up over here across western Texas. We have excessive heat warnings out here and through southern parts of Texas. The rest of the rest of Texas has heat advisories out. Now the heat advisories are starting to expand as we go up towards Oklahoma, in through Arkansas, over towards Memphis, even western half or so of Mississippi, and most of Louisiana, as well as this heat is going to expand tomorrow ahead of this front. So it's going to get muggy and a lot hotter across some of these areas before this front comes through. We're going to have a brief break in the heat across parts of this area. Texas is still going to roast, but this high pressure is going to start nosing its way up. And then we're going to get into some major heat as we get towards late week, especially across the central part of the area here, Missouri, Kansas, parts of Oklahoma, through Arkansas, possibly bleeding into a little bit of the southeast. But 90s to around 100 degrees is possible. This is not with heat indexes. Is possible by late week before we get the next the front through here. So we're going to have another heat wave. We're going to have a heat wave come in. Like I said, it's not going to last long across a few of the areas, but Texas is going to remain hot. Take a look at future radar here. This is 3 o'clock Central. You can see a timestamp right up here in the upper left of your screen. So we have some supercells starting to develop across central parts of Iowa. This is, like I said, this is 3 o'clock today. And as we move forward, you can see it kind of congeals into a line. A little bit of Boeing segments up here in Iowa. Some supercells still possible down here in south parts of Iowa as well. And this is going to get its way towards the Mississippi River by 8 o'clock tonight. So stay aware of that. And we might have a few storms trying to pop up out here towards southwestern parts of Oklahoma and through parts of Texas later this evening. And then this model is showing maybe a complex of storms trying to develop around midnight across northeastern parts of Oklahoma, and that's going to drive into parts of Arkansas before weakening as we go in through 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. You can see they're basically gone by 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow, which is Sunday. And then we have a few storms trying to pop up over here towards Tennessee. This is 9 o'clock in the morning, but we're going to have more storms develop as we go in through the afternoon on Sunday. Nasty little squall line looks like possible even up here towards Michigan. If that holds, I'm sure our Storm Prediction Center is going to upgrade that area to upgrade that risk area for tomorrow. But nasty line of storms starting to develop down here through Ohio into Indiana. And then you see there's basically nothing going on across the rest, but here comes storms starting to develop out here in parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas through Kentucky as we go through tomorrow evening. And tomorrow's going to be a very hot day ahead of this front. Like I said, this moisture is going to be banking up against this front, so it's going to be a lot more muggier tomorrow in a few areas ahead of this cold front. So oppressive heat is possible, along with some dangerously high heat indexes ahead of this front. And then look at the storms developing, running along this front, going through central Arkansas, going in through parts of Mississippi. This is 2 a.m. on Monday. And then this more storms trying to develop in northeastern Texas early in the morning on Monday. And that kind of gets out of here as the high pressure down here in Texas will start taking over just a little bit and expand this heat as we go towards mid to late week. Alrighty, let's take a look at the tropics. We still have Tropical Storm Brent over here towards basically the South American coast here. And then we have Cindy, 60-mile-an-hour sustained winds moving northwest at 20 miles per hour. Brent is down to a 45-mile-an-hour tropical storm. Pressure continues to rise with this. And the movement is west at 21 miles an hour. All right, so like I said, this is the latest track on Brett. They're only going to track it until late tonight. It's expected to basically kind of shear apart, so there won't be any threat possibly after tonight, as this probably dissipates into a depression as we go past 8 p.m. tonight, and then into just maybe an open tropical wave as we go through, and it goes into parts of Nicaragua, into Costa Rica as well. All right, here's Tropical Storm Cindy. Like I said, it's moving northwest at 20, max sustained winds at 60 miles an hour, so it's a pretty strong tropical storm. It's going to continue its northwesterly track here, and then as it hits, it's expected to become subtropical. That's why the change of the colors here to white, a white fill here. That's why it's going to go to subtropical. And then head up towards Bermuda. Now, as it gets up here by Bermuda across the central Atlantic, there's going to be a little bit more favorable conditions for this to develop, but it's going to stay out to sea, and there's really no threat for any impacts towards the United States. There might be increased swells across the southeast here over the next week or so. So be aware of rip currents out there. Some increased wave action along the coast if you're going to the beach over the next week or so. So that's all the impact the United States is going to get with Cindy. Just to recap for this weekend, like I said, we have a slight risk of severe weather up here towards Iowa into northeastern parts of Missouri and through parts of Illinois today into this evening. Like I said, a few tornadoes is possible. Hail up to tennis balls is possible as well. And then we got wind up to 70 miles per hour. We have marginal threat through the rest here of parts of Texas, all the way through parts of Arkansas and through Missouri. Like I said, this is mostly for later tonight or this evening into tonight. Like I said, the day 2 outlook, which is tomorrow, Sunday, the slight risk is basically expanded through most of Arkansas and through the rest of Tennessee and through the Ohio Valley, and then down through most of Alabama here and in through Mississippi as well. Enhanced risk basically from Columbus, Ohio, all the way to Nashville, Tennessee for tomorrow. So like I said, a few tornadoes may be possible. We could have hail possibly again up to golf ball, the tennis ball size, and then probably some high winds up to 70 miles per hour is possible tomorrow. So stay weather aware. A lot of outdoor activities over the weekend, so please stay weather aware. Have a way to get watches and warnings as we move forward this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Have a great weekend, everyone.